I guess the big story today is about CM Punk, and he was on Collider, and he's out promoting his new film, Girl on the Third Floor, and he was interviewed on this outlet, and Andrew Thompson did a phenomenal job on our site of transcribing the key stuff in this interview. It's like an hour-long interview, and they got into his audition for WWE Backstage on FS1, and he confirmed that he did it. And it seems, I mean, this really came across to me, while he didn't confirm that he's on the show, I certainly took it at the end that he did the audition. He wants to be on this show. FS1 ain't saying no to CM Punk if he wants to be doing this show. And I saw this as, yeah, this guy's doing this show.
Oh, man. Yeah. I really find it interesting that how like adamant he was about the distinction between this being a Fox production and not a WWE production, when, I mean, even like in its UFC on Fox incarnation, I think, we pretty much had the feeling that it wasn't really strictly a Fox production even at that point. So I don't really know if
here's what he said. Here's what he said. He says, quote, like, this is Fox. And then he says, quote, I'm not dealing with anybody in WWE. It was legit. Like they were like, it's Fox. And he says quite a lot in this.
He's getting paid by Fox. And again, this is so much like, I think, the Ariel Helwani situation where, I mean, Phil Brooks believes I don't doubt that he's getting paid by Fox, but man, I how's that going to work? Okay. When he has to break down WWE storylines on Raw, on SmackDown, on NXT, interview WWE wrestlers, I find it really interesting. I mean, if it is truly unscripted or like, where he's not being guided about what to say, what he can or can't say, well, then it'll truly be a show that I think will be worth watching. But I really, really doubt, knowing that WWE is on the logo of this show and Renee Young is hosting it, that he'll be that free,
Yeah, I mean, it's not called, I mean, it's being produced by Fox, but yes, it is WWE Backstage, not FS1 Backstage. And it's two people that are employed by WWE that are hosting this. So I think you have to look at it like that. I'll say that, and this is just like media broadcasting deals in general, that I've never quite understood why it always comes down to the broadcaster being at the mercy of the property. Because in this case, it's like Fox is paying WWE all this money. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if WWE could take SmackDown and just walk down the street and get something like, you know what I mean?
So what are you saying? Like, they should have the liberty to say whatever they want on this show?
Absolutely. No, what I'm saying is whether they will or not. What I'm saying is that in most of these situations, it's always the broadcaster that doesn't want to upset the sports property. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I can understand that if you're talking about an NFL or something of that level. But you know what I mean? Like, to me,
yeah, I do.
If Fox would want a CM Punk to go on their show, and if he thinks something sucked, great. Like, that's great for us, is it not? Like, for this show to get that kind of a buzz,
it's great for it. But I mean, at the same time, is it great if the show consistently sucks? Let's say we had that string of Raws from like over the past summer where everything was terrible for weeks on end, and you had Punk repeatedly remind you about something like that.
First of all, I don't even think you would necessarily get that. Like, Punk even says in this, like, he doesn't want to be going on and just burying this stuff.
But he also says, like, if it's bad, he won't be afraid to say it, right?
Yeah,
or something to that extent.
And I think for this show this show has to be able to have that ability to criticize in some form or fashion. Like, this can't just be like a show you'd see on the WWE Network. This has to have, at least for credibility's sake, for FS1, it does have to have that ability.
Now, let's just like imagine that this went through and that CM Punk was one of the hosts of WWE Backstage every Tuesday or whenever it airs. I mean, how long between that debut of him being the host on the show to when he steps foot in the WWE ring?
Well, he says he has no desire to wrestle. He's not.
Come on.
Like, to me, I
don't buy it for a second. I think Anyway, but please go ahead.
No, I mean, it's to me, it's a very curious decision he is making to go do this show. If that is not at least in the back of his mind, like to me, this was a guy that he had fallen out of love with wrestling completely, and now you're putting yourself into this situation where, I mean, he is a great get for this show. Like, this will be the focus of this show, the show that has CM Punk talking about WWE. And like, how long until like this first show, when they launch it, you always want to start with something big. Like, to me, it's Paul Levesque being on this show.
Oh my God. Yeah, that would be huge. Yeah, you're telling me like an interview where CM Punk interviews Triple H about WWE programming.
Now, it's also unknown, like, what is his role going to be on this show? Like, Renee Young and Booker T are listed as a host. Is he a third host that's on for the entire show? Is he doing a segment? Is he, what is it? I mean, all of that is, I guess, to be determined.
Yeah, very fascinating.
And we should say, he does not say in this that he has officially joined the show either. But, I mean, it's, I think you can put 2 and 2 together here.
Yeah.
He did the audition, and it would seem that the only thing that would be holding this back would be FS1 saying, you know what? It would be like that scene in Glow where Alison Brie does the audition, and she sounds terrific. And they say, you know what? Nah, it didn't quite work. We
don't like tattoos. Sorry.
Yeah, we just can't go with this. So if you think FS1's making that call, I think you're crazy. So,
well, and of course the other thing would be if the other name attached to the show might not be happy with him. But I mean, the fact that he had an audition maybe tells you that, at least they didn't seem to mind that, or maybe they had no say in something like that. I don't know.
We should read this. This was Paul Levesque with Jimmy Traina of Sports Illustrated when asked about the talks with Punk, and this is what Paul Levesque said. I believe this interview was done today or this week. Look, I've read about that as well, and to be clear, Fox is doing this show, and it's their show, and it's something they're doing to talk about the WWE Universe and everything going on in it. They have a long list of people that they've been interviewing and everything. As far as us, one of the things I think this company has shown over and over again is never say never. And if the opportunity is right for everybody and it's right for our fans, then we are willing to put the past behind us and move forward. So I would say never, but that's also probably a long way from coming true. I don't know. That's a little bit outside of my purview at the moment. But like I said, never say never.
Yes. Okay.
That sounds like a man very caught off guard by this question.
Yeah. But
who clearly has to know what is going on.
Yeah, I mean, even like listening to the Starcast Q&A he did, I mean, he's very much, he said himself he wouldn't not turn he wouldn't, it was a double negative. He wouldn't not
I won't not listen to them.
Yeah. Well, he would not pick up a phone call from them or something like that. So clearly both sides at this point are at least, if you're taking Triple H as sort of like the representative, they're willing to talk. But from all accounts, they haven't yet. But I do feel like it's only a matter of time.
And he never lied. He never lied about, no, those reports are false, or no, I didn't do that. I think he realizes that, I'll look really silly at the end of that. So, I mean, and in this, it was, flat out, yes, I did the audition, and I think everyone's now putting 2 and 2 together here. So, I mean, it's the best thing for that show that's going to have all of this buzz now for it. And people are talking about this show well before it debuts next month.
Interesting.